Hey, so it's been almost 5 months.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
To ease back into making videos, I wanted to do something I'm best at, complaining. And if you're one of my siblings watching this, you know that fact all too well. I love to complain about things, especially if they're art related. Because scrolling through Toy House lately has been a death sentence. You ever use Toy House? It sucks. Of course, a little disclaimer, this is just my opinion, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Anyways, let's get into it.
6-1. 6-1.
Ooh, starting off strong with a pretty widely hated one, and that's the... How do I describe this one? Evil dark-skinned character x nice light-skinned character. If it isn't self-explanatory, this trope is basically where the kind-hearted, innocent, typically feminine character in the relationship has white skin and is juxtaposed by the love interest who is brutish, edgy, usually masculine, and has dark skin. The reason I despise this trope so much, besides the obvious, is that they use something I like to call racially motivated visual shorthands. That's a lot. And a lot of artists either consciously or subconsciously will use that when creating their opposite aesthetic couples. This trope is especially popular in fantasy stories, specifically like anime and manhwa and stuff like that. It's everywhere and no one seems to see a problem with it. I feel like I'm going insane. It's so boring. It's like whenever I see a couple like this, I'm always like, oh yeah, I can immediately tell which one's supposed to be the top. You rarely ever see the opposite of this trope either. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this, but it's weird. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, this one's a little less serious and not an issue in the slightest, but I need to speak my truth. I hate the Y2K nerd archetype. Okay, I said it. This type of character seems to have had a big resurgence like last year, 2024, and I admit I fell for the propaganda as well. Namely with 1OC, we're not gonna talk about him right now. Though as of late, I've sort of pivoted his character and it made me think this specific niche of character is like, it's so boring. I've realized this trope has nothing to offer. It's the same skinny guy with glasses, braces, shaggy brown hair, and it just got super old so quick. I used to love this, and then I started seeing it everywhere. Like, you see every artist and their mama making an OC like this, and I get that it's supposed to be the same kind of 90s, early 2000s comedy type vibe, but, like, you couldn't add anything else to the character? Like, okay, he's a nerd, but that's so vague. What is he a nerd about? Like, there's so many types of nerds. And also, where are the female nerds? Where are the girl nerd representation? You guys are just making the same type of guy. And also, I noticed all of them are perverts. Like, not a single one isn't, like, a stalker. Like how did this happen? It's like we went backwards and started to associate being kooky and a little weird with being a literal danger to society. Honestly, if this is how y'all see be acting, they deserve to get bullied by the jock or mean girl character in the story. There probably is one, to be honest. They don't deserve love. Get out of here. But, I know the nerd-loving girlies are gonna come after me. Like, listen, I'm one of you, I swear. Like, I'm being a little bit hypocritical, because when I was watching Dispatch, Waterboy was literally my favorite character. Like, this is live footage of me seeing him for the first time. Alright, yeah, whatever, next trope.
My bad. Sorry, I forgot you were fragile. I forgot someone who doesn't even know me told you I'm an asshole.
This next one's a little bit odd, but trust me, you'll know what I mean when I describe it. Maybe. If you've ever watched BL before, if you had a BL phase, or if you still are in that phase, or if that's just who you are, you'll know what I'm talking about. The predecessor of this trope is seen a lot in movies and TV, whether it be a wife, girlfriend, daughter, sister, mother, just a disposable woman who is merely a plot device to serve the main male character. While this trope is very common, I want to talk about it specifically in the realm of pure male romance. When I used to read BL, any drama, tension, or conflict in the story, they seem to think the best way to add that is to just add a woman to cause trouble because women. Am I right, fellas? Bonus points if she's one of the male lead's original partner who he's actively cheating on. Why is this a thing? For some reason, that's like eerily common. And I even see it in OC spaces. Y'all might be thinking, damn girl, this is so oddly specific. It's because I've seen it. I'm not even making these up. I've seen it over and over again. Another iteration of this, not to do with BL or anything, mothers who, pardon my crudeness, are essentially there to carry the male character's child and die or leave like a fucking male ant or a bee Because it seems in general media, and in turn the OC community, is literally obsessed with single fathers. Single mothers, not so much. But let's not dwell on that too much. It's like, if you want to give your character a child, but not someone to create the child with, they can always just adopt one. Why does it have to be a biological child? Instead, let's just give the guy an irrelevant ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or dead girlfriend or dead wife so he can have a biological child. Well, why? Or even better, she just leaves. She just gone. Where did she go? I don't know. I've gone in the past 8 months I've been gone. I've went insane. I just want to let you know that. Next trope. All right. Next one. Trigger warning. That's it. I want to talk about something I've seen a lot in the OC community, and that's like this weird obsession with extremely morally deplorable, frankly, evil niggas being glorified to no end. I mean, sure, I have some pretty messed up characters myself, but wanted to turn to a dick measuring contest to see who can create the most reprehensible, generally revolting people in history. As if mass murder wasn't enough. It isn't enough for these people. People out here creating whole sex offender registries with their OCs. And God forbid you come up to one of these people with a, hey, maybe the way you're presenting these topics in your story is a little distasteful, a little bit disrespectful. You'd be lucky if they don't clock you in the back of the head right then and there. Or worse, go on a spiel about how you're trying to censor them and their freedom of speech. How am I censoring you? I'm just asking a question. I'm saying, do you think this is distasteful? Don't you think this might be distasteful, the way you're presenting these topics? No. I'm not telling you not to do these topics in your story at all. I'm just saying, stop yelling. I'm just saying maybe there's a better way to do this. I'm not infringing on your First Amendment right, because I'm not the government. I can't infringe upon your free speech. I'm not the government. Free speech is not freedom of opinions, people having opinions about you. Like, get it right, y'all. Read the fucking Constitution. I never read it. Sorry, what am I talking about? Like, they genuinely act like you are bringing back the Hays Code from the 1940s. There's also this thing I see some artists do. They'll say, I'm not glorifying this character. They're supposed to make you angry and uncomfortable. Okay, that's fine. I get it. But then I take one look at the character's gallery, the artwork this artist drew. Why do I see it's all just cute, sexy, aesthetic fan art of them? Because naturally, if you want to show that a character is, I don't know, a predator, you'd probably want to paint them in the least flattering light possible. Of course, unless a part of the story is that they're charming and they use that to be a predator, you know. But you can tell the difference, right? Am I insane for that? If disgust is really what you want the audience to feel, I'm the audience, why would you even for a second want to depict them in a way that could make people misinterpret how you feel about this character's actions? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want me to think, oh, damn, this character fucking sucks, you wouldn't then show the character being a nice, charitable person with no consequences, just as if they're the awesome main character. Would you? Because I feel like there's some disconnect there. Is there not? I'm going to expose myself a little bit. While none of my characters have done those type of crimes, I have some characters who are morally dubious, to say the least. One of them being the guy in the speedpaint, Takashi. I mean, he's a cold-hearted, paranoid dude who lives in the woods, you know, stalking and heartlessly murdering anyone who strays too close, including a child. Pretty terrible stuff. So what you won't see me doing is drawing hot, sexy fan art of him. I draw him how I want him to be perceived. A weak, cowardly man who hides behind a false sense of superiority to justify taking the lives of others. Not that I'm saying, like, a better writer than these other people. I just thought I have an ultimate fear of my characters being misconstrued. Like, how could you not fear that? I fear that you have a character who's supposed to be a bad guy and people accidentally, like, glorify them and think, wow, they're so cool. I would feel like shit. I would burn every copy of whatever book or story I made. Like, and also, like, you can have an evil character who doesn't have to be the most immoral, horrible person on earth and do the most shocking acts of human depravity. Like, damn, there's a lot of dirty deeds to go around. Like, there's plenty of things that make people a bad person that don't involve, like, this stuff that I see everywhere in our community. There's so many bad stuff you can do. Like, I don't know, abandoning your children, exploiting the working class, medical malpractice, racism, sexism, being a landlord. There's so much stuff. I'm not entirely blaming everyone who's carelessly added a horrific crime in their story just for the fuck of it. We were all kids once. Who I will blame is the grown adults who still think this is an acceptable thing to do and will call you a fascist if you call them out. Dude, does anyone know what that word means? Like, I genuinely had someone on Tumblr call me a neo-fascist for saying that glorifying child abusers is bad. What? Okay. That actually happened. Next. In front of my house. Matter of fact, we got to put in front of my house. Pull up in front of the motherfucking precinct and let's bang out. Right down the block. You know what's that? You study my own neighborhood. We'll pull up in front of the Kmart and let's bang out. Hey, let's go to Tampa. Next trope. Childhood meet cute. Not as romantic as it sounds. Alright, say you have a couple with an otherwise regular, wholesome relationship that we're meant to root for and want to watch blossom. But the caveat is that character A met character B when character B was a child and character A was an adult. But it's okay, because they only got together once B was an adult too. They always fail to mention how beyond creepy that is that A fostered a friendly relationship with a child only to turn around and be attracted to them when they turn into an adult. I'm mentioning a lot of dark topics today, huh? Sorry. Pet peeves, more like actually valid critiques. Am I right? These sound like cold takes, but I swear there are people who will argue to their grave about these. You know, also we have a name for people like character A. They're called groomers, and the writer always tries to justify it by saying, well, character A wasn't attracted to character B until they got older. Yeah, definitely, sure. When B turned of age, just a flip switched in character A's head to say, damn, they're hot. Ew, oh, gross. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that. Honestly, I'll be reading or watching a romance, and it'll be going so well until suddenly they reveal this. Instantly ruin the story. Maybe if you're writing a damn psychological horror, then sure, fine. But it's always the cutesy, wholesome romances, and they never call out the predatory dynamic and never question whether character B's feelings for character A are even genuine, or if they were just manipulated because they were a child when they met. Don't even get me started on the opposite, tangent, where there's a wholesome found family parent-child dynamic, and the writer just suddenly decides they're going to get together romantically after the young character grows up. Because, I don't know. There was this one manhwa I was reading, Papa Wolf and the Puppy. It was so cute. It's about this little puppy named Potato. Well, they're humans in the rest of the story. But it's about this little baby named Potato who gets adopted by a mafia boss. And then mafia boss adopts a little baby. I'm absolutely loving it. Then the author started adding these little moments that were drawn a little weird. But contextually, they were fine. So naturally, 15-year-old me justified it by saying, maybe that's their art style. Maybe they just accidentally drew it like that. And everyone in the comments was like, oh, the author draws BL, so of course they're going to draw it like that. Of course they're going to draw it like spicy, but it's not weird though. It's not weird. Turns out that despite Potato being raised by this guy since he was 4 years old and being the only father he has ever known, Potato has, and this sounds so stupid. His name is, I know it's dumb. His name's fucking Potato. I'm sorry. Potato has an intense sexually charged crush on him? Why? It just happens, and it's supposed to be seen as cute and silly. You don't know the rage and betrayal I felt. I damn near got Usagi dropped, bro. Not even damn near. I just did. Fell hook, line, and sinker. What am I even talking about? Just get to the next part.
You are not the father.
Last one is definitely kind of obscure and more of a blink if you'll miss it, or you probably just miss it. But I have a question. There's a type of artist I'm talking about. Like they have very diverse OCs. Like the type of person who has very diverse OCs, very varied type of characters of different race, body type, gender, etc. Why some of these artists, when they draw black characters, women specifically, they're always overweight? Like there's nothing wrong with making a fat character, obviously. It's just that every other female character, or not even female, every other character is like thin or athletic, except for the black women. I'm sorry, it's giving stereotypical? It's giving a lot of things. Like, it feels like I'm going insane every time I see this pattern, because it'll be paraded. It'll be like, oh, inclusivity, while actively feeding into racist stereotypes. You see what I mean here? It's like, also, they do the same with, like, other characters of other races. Like, they'll always give them a trait, like, one trait that's seen as stereotypical for this race. But it's like, it's not really. It's like, they'll have a group of characters, right? Let's say most of them are white. Like, they're all diverse looking, but most of them are white. And then there'll be like one black character and one Asian character. The black character will always be overweight, or if they're a man, they'll be like cool, tough guy, whatever the hell. And the Asian character will always have glasses and a bowl cut. I don't know. I'm probably thinking way too much into this, but I feel like I feel like I'm gonna start a conspiracy theory for why people do this, and it's always like, it's not obvious. I just notice it when I see it. I'm like, because like, obviously, like, those two things and having those two traits is not inherently bad, obviously, because that's like, there's shit ton of people who have those traits, but it's like specifically giving them to those characters only is a little interesting. It's a little interesting. And don't get me started on when it's multiple times. They have multiple, like, black women OCs, all of them overweight, every single one. And I'm like, why? Like, wow, you're so diverse, but you have the same 5 characters repeated over and over again. It doesn't even stop there. Like, literally, me and my siblings were doing a game where when we see a black character in, like, Toy House or Art Fight, we counted how many had these 5 traits: aggressive, masculine, overweight, non-human / animalistic, or sassy. Almost all characters had at least 3. I know I sound insane, but I know they're doing it on purpose. Maybe it's unintentional, but it feels like it's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never had an issue with doing that. Like, go outside, look around you, like, unless you live in Finland or something, which that but the internet exists. You have phones. Oh my God, you guys, you have phones. I can't believe it. Okay. See, I'm sorry. I'm coming off a little agitated right now. I'm just sick of this trope, this type of media. It's being paraded to me. It's being shoved in my face. Like, can we just take a second and maybe think the art we're creating might be perpetuating not great things? I don't know. Just food for thought. All right, that's all the tropes that should be struck down by lightning. Anyways, wanted to say again, sorry for not posting. I know it's a pretty underwhelming video, but I'm getting back to the swing of things. Promise. Promise. I ran out of ideas despite only posting 4 videos. Trust. I'll lock in 2024. What? What year are you in? 2026? I'm gonna lock in so hard. I should probably plug my social medias, but I don't post. I barely post on TikTok or Toy House or any of those fucking... Here's them anyways. See ya.